What if I told you she didn't leave because you weren't good enough? She left because she couldn't recognize value when it was in front of her. You were the prize, but she only saw it once she lost access, and by then it was already too late. Let me ask you something real. What do you do when the person you gave your heart to walks away like it meant nothing? When the silence is louder than any goodbye? Do you crumble, or do you rebuild? Not for her, not for revenge, but for something far more dangerous, for peace, for power, for purpose. She thought you'd fall apart, thought you'd blow up her phone, thought you'd beg, cry, chase. Nope, you went ghost, quiet. And while she was out playing her games, you were busy becoming untouchable. That's the part they never see coming, the rebirth. The cold, calm, calculated shift of a man turning heartbreak into high ground. See, a Stoic man doesn't scream. He doesn't throw pity parties. He doesn't post sad quotes hoping she sees them. He disappears from the world that didn't value him and reappears in a world that bows to the man he's become. She's going to regret it. Not because you made her, but because you mastered the one thing she never expected, yourself. This video is your turning point. Not a rant, not a cry for closure. This is a blueprint. 10 steps into your evolution, 10 chapters of silence turned into strength. You're not here to get her back. You're here to get you back. The version of you she couldn't handle. The version she thought would stay broken. The version she now stalks in silence, wondering how she fumbled so hard. You were the prize. She just realized too late. And now, you're not just closing the door, you're locking it from the other side. Welcome to Stoic Blessing. This is Stoic Motivation. This is your reminder that heartbreak isn't the end. It's the beginning of your rise. If you're tired of the pain, if you're ready to rise through it, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I release what I cannot control. Now let's begin. Number 1, the fall. When she walked away, she left. Just like that. No warning, no slow fade. One day, you were her everything. The next, you were just another unread message. She stopped calling, stopped caring, started entertaining someone else like you were never even part of her story. And it hit you like a freight train. You were replaced without explanation, discarded without a second glance. You thought the bond meant something. You thought the memories held weight. You thought all the time, energy, and effort would count for more than a shrug and a goodbye that never came. And in that moment, when your chest caved in, your mind raced with questions, and your gut screamed for answers, you experienced the fall, the collapse, the silence, the empty side of the bed, and the even emptier feeling in your soul. But here's the truth you don't want to hear, but need to hear. She didn't break you. She exposed where you were already cracked. That heartbreak? It wasn't just her betrayal. It was your dependency, your overinvestment, your belief that she was your peace, your purpose, your future. Nah, she was a chapter, not the book. And sometimes the worst thing someone can do to you is the best thing for you. Because when she walked away, she gave you the greatest gift, clarity. This is where the Stoic path begins, right here, in the rubble, in the wreckage, when everything soft inside you turns hard, not bitter, but forged, tempered. Because a Stoic doesn't beg for closure. He doesn't obsess over what he can't control. He doesn't chase ghosts hoping they turn around. He faces the pain head-on, without blinking. He studies the wound, not to reopen it, but to understand how to never let it happen again. She thought you'd break, thought you'd spiral, thought you'd blow up her phone and ask, "Why did you leave?" Nope. You sat with the pain. You owned it. You felt every second of it without running, and in that stillness you began to rise, not out of spite, not to prove something to her, but to reclaim what you gave away too easily, yourself. Understand this. Anyone who can walk away from you without a second thought was never built to walk beside you long term. They were there for a season, a lesson, a shake-up. And now, you build without them. Better, stronger, colder, but not cruel. You don't need to be angry. You just need to be done. If you're done romanticizing someone who left, if you're ready to accept the pain and use it to evolve, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, "I release what I cannot control." Because this was the fall, but it's not the end. It's the start of something dangerous, your comeback. Let's go to war, quietly. Number 2, emotional alchemy, turning pain into power. Pain changes people, but whether it breaks you or builds you, that's on you. After she left, you had 2 choices, become a victim or become a weapon. And most men choose the first one. They drown in self-pity, scroll through old messages, stalk her socials, and cry over what used to be. They let heartbreak define them. Not you, not anymore. See, Stoicism teaches one of the most lethal skills a man can learn, emotional transmutation, turning pain into discipline, loneliness into focus, anger into silence. That ache in your chest, that's fuel, that's the raw material, and what you build from it, that's alchemy. You didn't need her closure. You needed the wound, the silence, the betrayal. You needed to hit rock bottom so you'd finally stop being soft, so you'd stop putting your peace in someone else's hands, so you'd stop being so available to someone who never truly saw you. Every sleepless night, every fake smile, every "I'm fine" when you were falling apart. That's what sharpens you. That's what refines you. But here's the shift. You don't react. You refocus. You hit the gym harder than ever. You read. You learn. You build new habits. You wake up early. You level up, quietly. No announcements. No stories. No updates. You let the pain do its job, turn you into someone she won't even recognize. And by the time she realizes what she lost, you're not even the same man anymore. You're untouchable. She might have left thinking she hurt you, and maybe she did. But she also helped create something far more dangerous. A man with nothing to prove, nothing to lose, and everything to build. A man who doesn't need her, doesn't chase her, and sure as hell doesn't wait for her. This is emotional alchemy, taking what was meant to destroy you and using it as your foundation. You don't need revenge. You don't even need closure. You just need to remember who the hell you are and become someone even you would respect. If you're done letting pain define you, if you're ready to turn heartbreak into high ground, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I rise through pain. Because the pain wasn't punishment, it was your blueprint. On to the next. Number 3. No contact, no crumbs. Let me be clear. No contact isn't a tactic to win her back. It's a declaration that you don't chase what disrespected you. When she walked away, she made a choice. And now it's your turn. You cut her off. Cold, clean. No texts. No "I miss you." No watching her stories hoping she sees your name pop up. Nope. You go ghost. Not out of hate, but out of discipline. Because every time you reach out, you bleed power. Every time you check her page, you reopen the wound. Every time you respond to her breadcrumb texts, you're telling her, "You still have access to me." And that's weakness masquerading as hope. Stop chasing closure from someone who couldn't even give you honesty. Stop waiting for an apology that won't come. She doesn't miss you. She misses your attention. She doesn't feel guilty. She feels bored. You want to be unforgettable? Disappear. Let your silence do what your words never could. Create mystery, scarcity, and distance. And watch how fast her ego starts to itch. The moment you stop feeding her the validation she used to survive on, she'll feel the absence. That space where your presence used to live. It becomes loud, haunting, and the longer she hears nothing, the louder it gets. But don't do this hoping she'll come back. Do it because you've remembered your worth. Do it because self-respect looks like blocking the door and throwing away the key. This isn't a cold shoulder, it's a locked gate. And the man on the other side isn't waiting anymore. He's building, evolving, moving forward. You're not just cutting her off, you're cutting off the version of you that tolerated less than you deserved. That man, he's dead. The new you doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't settle for crumbs. He wants the whole damn feast, and he's willing to eat alone until it's right. If you're done breaking your own heart trying to keep the wrong person in your life, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I don't chase, I choose. You've gone silent, and now the silence speaks louder than anything she could say. Let's move forward. Number 4, cold edge, warm heart. Here's where most men get it wrong. They think going stoic means going numb, like you have to shut off your heart, fake being heartless, and become some robotic version of yourself. Nope. Stoicism isn't about becoming cold. It's about choosing when and who to be warm with. It's about owning your emotions instead of letting them own you. She played with your kindness, took your empathy and used it as a cushion. Your heart was pure, but it was too open, too unguarded. You gave love without boundaries. You gave chances when she showed you red flags. And deep down, you thought patience would earn you loyalty. It didn't. All it earned you was pain. And now the lesson is simple. Protect your peace like it's all you have, because it is. You're not broken. You're just wiser. You've developed your edge, the part of you that watches more than it speaks, that feels but doesn't react, that can care but won't cling. Your compassion is still there, but now it's controlled, reserved, directed only toward those who earn it. She'll come back one day, maybe not with words, but with energy. Maybe a "how have you been" text, maybe a late-night story reaction. That subtle breadcrumb meant to see if the door's still open, but the man you're becoming. He doesn't open the door just because someone knocks. He asks, "Why now?" He remembers the silence, the distance, the disrespect. And he doesn't get soft when someone finally feels his absence. That's the edge. Not bitterness, just boundaries. You're not becoming heartless. You're becoming selective. You've upgraded your filter. And that filter doesn't just stop people from hurting you. It stops you from betraying yourself by letting the wrong people in. If you're done giving love to people who only drain you, if you're ready to protect your heart without freezing it, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My peace is not for sale. Now that you've got your edge, it's time to become undeniable. Let's get to work. Number 5, the glow-up she never saw coming. She thought you'd fall apart without her, thought you'd spiral, thought you'd be stuck in the same place, refreshing her profile, hoping she'd come back. But she forgot something. Pressure doesn't just break a man, it builds him. And now, you're in the shadows, putting in the work, quietly, ruthlessly, patiently, and the glow-up? Oh, it's inevitable. This isn't just about hitting the gym, though you should be doing that. This is about full-spectrum elevation, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. While she's still looking for attention online, you're crafting a life offline that doesn't need validation. You're upgrading your body, your mindset, your income, your circle. You're not just getting better, you're becoming unreachable. Because here's the truth, revenge is for the weak. Transformation is for the disciplined. You're not out here trying to flex on her. You're not trying to make her regret it. That's too small. That's reactive. A stoic man doesn't level up to prove a point. He levels up because he refuses to stay average. Because excellence is his baseline, not his brag. And make no mistake, she'll see it. Maybe not today, maybe not next month. But eventually, the version of you she left behind will be unrecognizable. You'll walk different, speak different, move different. You'll carry yourself like a man who doesn't chase, because he attracts. A man who doesn't talk about what he's doing, because his presence speaks louder than any post ever could. The same woman who left you confused will one day see you and feel confused herself. How did he become that? But by then she won't be able to reach you. You'll be in rooms she can't enter, living a life she's no longer part of. And that's not petty, that's power. If you're done waiting to be chosen and ready to become undeniable, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My growth is my revenge. The glow-up isn't the goal, it's the byproduct. Let's keep climbing. Number 6. Attraction through absence. You want to flip the script? Disappear. Let her feel your absence, because nothing exposes your value more than vanishing from the life of someone who took you for granted. See, most guys try to win her back by staying visible, liking her posts, showing they've changed, dropping hints they're still around. That's weakness in disguise. That's neediness wrapped in fake confidence. But a Stoic man knows this. The more available you are, the less she respects you. People crave what's scarce. They desire what's distant. So you don't make noise. You don't send signals. You pull all of your energy inward. You vanish, not to get noticed, but because you have better things to do than perform for someone who walked away. And here's the dark truth. The moment she realizes you're really gone, emotionally, mentally, energetically, something shifts in her. That attention she once took for granted, now it's a void. That validation she used to count on, gone. You don't exist in her orbit anymore. And the silence, it starts to echo. She begins to question. Did he really move on? Did I lose him for good? And that doubt, that's where attraction is born again, not from your presence but from your absence. But this isn't about playing games. You're not withholding to manipulate. You're detaching to heal. You're focusing on yourself so deeply that her opinion doesn't even register anymore. You're not the same man she left. You've changed the entire frequency, and she can feel it. Attraction isn't about chasing, it's about elevation. And once you rise above her level, she has to look up just to find you. But by then, you're already gone. Not out of bitterness, but because your life got too full to fit someone who only showed up when it was convenient. If you're done begging for attention and ready to become magnetic through your absence, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence creates power. Because disappearing wasn't the end, it was your emergence. Let's go deeper. Number 7. Regret always comes late. Regret has a funny way of creeping in when it's no longer useful. She didn't regret losing you when you were blowing up her phone. She didn't regret it when you were still reacting, still hurting, still hoping. Nope. Regret shows up after you stop caring, after you've detached, after you've healed. When you're finally out of reach, that's when it hits her. You see, people don't regret losing you when they think you're still waiting. They regret it when they feel your absence in full. When they see you glowing without them. When you don't watch their stories, don't respond to their texts, don't even flinch at their presence. That's when they remember. That's when the flashbacks hit. The laughs, the loyalty, the way you were solid when everyone else was fake. And they'll try to spin the block, casually, subtly, like nothing happened. Hey stranger, just checking in. I saw something that reminded me of you. Don't fall for it. Regret is her burden to carry, not your responsibility to fix. Don't you dare let someone back in just because they finally noticed your worth. She saw it before. She just didn't respect it. And that window? It's closed now. You're not the man she left. You're sharper, stronger, clearer. You no longer operate from emotion. You move with intention. And your intention now? Peace, progress, power. That doesn't include dragging the past into your future. You don't need revenge. Her regret is the revenge. And the best part? You don't even have to lift a finger. You just keep rising, keep building, keep becoming. Let her sit with what she lost. Let her live with the memory of the man who had every reason to stay broken, but didn't. If you're done accepting people back just because they finally feel your absence, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. Her regret is not my responsibility. She chose her path. Now you stay on yours. We're not looking back. Let's keep moving forward. Number 8. The power of indifference. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. And when you master that, you become untouchable. Not because you stopped caring about her, but because you stopped letting what she does affect your inner world. That's the power of a Stoic man. He doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, doesn't react. He observes, learns, moves on. She wants you to care. Not enough to come back, but just enough to keep you orbiting her, watching her, wondering. She wants you emotionally hooked, even after she walked away. But indifference, that's the kill shot. It tells her, you no longer have access to my peace. You've outgrown the game. You're not just ignoring her. You're unbothered by her existence. That's when she loses control. When the drama doesn't shake you. When the jealousy posts don't faze you. When her new guy doesn't even make you blink because you're not in the arena anymore. You've stepped out of the emotional circus. She can scream into the void all she wants. It's quiet where you live now. Indifference isn't cruelty. It's control. It's understanding that your energy is too valuable to waste on someone who didn't protect it when they had the chance. It's not giving cold looks or playing games. It's nothing. Not caring if she's watching, not needing her to see, not waiting for her to get it. You already got it, you won. You left the table with your dignity intact and your soul upgraded. That kind of control? That's dangerous, because it's not about punishing her. It's about protecting you. You've finally realized that your peace isn't something she can touch anymore. And when she feels that detachment, that's when she understands what she lost, fully, permanently. If you're done reacting and ready to walk in pure emotional power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I owe no reaction. Because indifference isn't weakness, it's the final form of strength. Let's keep building. The crown's getting heavy. Number 9. You were always the prize. Here's the twist she never saw coming. You were the prize the whole time. Not the fallback, not the placeholder, not the guy she could keep on standby while she explored her options. You were it. But she was too blind, too distracted, too caught up in ego to see it. And by the time she figured it out, you weren't even available to be claimed anymore. You had leveled up past her reach. The problem was never your worth. It was your awareness of it. You thought giving more would earn more. You thought loving harder would make her stay. But she didn't walk away because you weren't valuable. She walked away because you didn't act like you were. You handed over your time, your energy, your loyalty, like it was cheap, like it was replaceable. But now you know better. A Stoic man doesn't seek validation from anyone, especially not someone who couldn't even love him at his most raw and real. He becomes his own validation, his own source of peace, his own standard. You don't need someone to see your value. You are the value. And when you start carrying yourself like that, the entire world responds different. You no longer chase women, you choose them. You don't beg for attention, you command respect. And yeah, she'll remember. She'll replay it all in her head. The way you loved her, stood by her. The way you showed up when no one else did. And the sting of regret will hit harder than any words you could have said. Because now she knows. She fumbled the man who was the real prize. Not because you changed, but because you finally realized it yourself. From here on out, you move like a king. Calm, focused, unshakable, not desperate for love, but selective with it. Not because you're bitter, but because you finally understand. You set the standard. If someone wants access to you, they earn it. If you're done shrinking yourself to fit inside someone else's small vision, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I was always the prize. You've taken the throne. Now let's make sure it never slips again. One final chapter left. Let's finish strong. Number 10. Burn the bridge, not yourself. This is the final step. The one most men never take. They stay half in, half out, still checking her page, still holding on to what if, still hoping she comes back different. But here's the truth. She won't. And even if she did, you wouldn't want her anymore. Not with everything you've built, not with the man you've become. So now it's time to burn the bridge. Not in anger, not in drama, but in finality. Because this isn't about her anymore. This is about your peace, your future, your legacy. That version of you who tolerated disrespect, who stayed too long, who gave too much. He served his purpose, but he doesn't get to follow you into this next chapter. Let him go. Amor fati. The Stoic principle of loving your fate. Not just accepting what happened, but embracing it, thanking it. Because without the heartbreak, you wouldn't have woken up. You wouldn't have sharpened your discipline. You wouldn't have evolved into the man who now looks in the mirror with clarity, not confusion. She wasn't the one. She was the lesson. And you don't cling to a lesson. You learn from it and move on. That means no more mental replays, no more imaginary conversations, no more fantasizing about the day she'll apologize. It doesn't matter anymore. That chapter is over. And you're too busy writing the next one. Burn the bridge. Not so she can't come back, but so you can't go back. Back to the doubt, the overthinking, the man who placed his worth in someone else's hands. He's gone. What's left is you. Clear, controlled, complete. You're not chasing love anymore. You are love. You are peace. You are power. And that can't be taken from you again. If you're done living in the past and ready to burn the bridge for good, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications and comment below. She was the lesson. I am the legacy. This is Stoic blessing. And this is your beginning, not the end. Welcome to the other side.